Ladies and gentlemen, hello, good evening on this beautiful Saturday night from the UK. Welcome to season number 1, race number 1 of the GP2. We have 11 new drivers this evening. We had to have a mini clear out early on in this season due to what happened in Belgium, but we are back with 11 drivers who will be trying their best to get maximum points and maximum performance out of their Formula 1 cars this evening. 85% of Monza taken at full power, so we're expecting the grid intervals and especially the qualifying times initially to be very, very close. There is a McLaren heading towards the start line who's going to be going into the pits. We've also got a Chimpy who we can ride on board with, and we will take you on a lap of Monza with the Ferrari driver who has a very low battery early on in this session. We have a 18-minute qualifying, we have a 50% race to come as he goes into a pit, so we can't quite do a lap of Italy with him. Let's have a look at Young Potato. He's going to be coming across the line, so we can take you on a lap of Italy with him instead, as this is going to be his fast lap. So long start finish straight down to the first chicane of turns 1 and 2. Very, very tight, easy to get the braking zone wrong, overshoot the corner. Out of turn 2, round turn 3, the Curva Grande, of course. Hopefully none of the cars go on that curve to the right hand side. That could send you spinning, as Young Potato know it does. Down to the second chicane, then turns 4 and 5 for left and right hander. Got to be careful on the corner cutting here. You can get, it is on strict this evening. First part of Lesmo, turn 6, almost 90 degrees. Then we got turn 7, the second part of Lesmo. Easy to lose the back right of the car here, so you got to be careful. Then into a DRS zone. Pretty decent size straight here, down to the Ascaris section of 8, 9 and 10, as you're about to see. A left turn, followed by an immediate right. And fully flat out if you have a traction, as Young Potato, no it doesn't. And you're down to the back end, straight down to the famous turn 11 of Parabolica. Only 11 corners in Italy. It's quite a simple circuit, and that is what's going to give us the close times this evening. Young Potato will come around Parabolica and he will set his lap time, which is a 1 minute 23.195. A couple of times have already come in. We've only had 7 minutes. Catboy Kai, Kieran, 1 minute 21.419. Jelly, 21.601. A tenth behind, almost 2. Mike Whitty's P3 at the moment, 22.551. Young Potato, Baboon Saloon, the 2 Red Bulls, 4th and 5th. Chimp is 6th. He's going to improve on that time. Alvy Trot, Young Lights, FedEx Blue, Jimmy Allen, Hedgehog. Yet to put a time in, but they've got 10.5 minutes to do so. We have 4 Kierans in this lobby, I think. Oh no, we have 3. We have Chimp, who's called Kieran. We have Hedgehog, Kieran. We have Catboy Kai, who's called Kieran. 3 Kierans out of the 11 drivers. And everyone, if everyone was to finish, only one person would not be getting a point here. Alfie Trot sets the provisional pole time of a 1 minute 21.074, 4 tenths quicker than anyone else. Now we've got 10 minutes to go, and let's see who's going to put a lap in. Jimmy Allen is coming around the first part of Lesmo, and it looks to be like he's on a fast lap. Jimmy Allen, of course, the previous GP1 driver who wanted to give GP2 a chance. He has a feeling he can win the whole thing. So we're going to give him an opportunity. 214 miles an hour down to the Ascaris section in his racing point. Doesn't matter what company it is, it's all on equal performance. And and he's got one long corner to go, 180 degrees in fact, to find out what time Jimmy Allen is going to post with that bright fluorescent blue helmet. What is that? It's spotting from anywhere. It comes across the line, 121 dead to be on pole, goes 121.4, 13 milliseconds quicker than Kieran in third. Jimmy Allen goes second place for now. Baboon Saloon is coming through the second chicane, and 9 minutes of quali left. He is on a fast lap, we believe, looking to improve on his 1 minute 25.6. And Lesmo looked pretty okay, pretty smooth, pretty tentative, I guess. Out on the power, he eggs towards Ascari. We'll see his second sector time is half a second up, which is not going to gain him a position just yet. But we'll see how well he does in the final sector. Traction control is on medium, it is restricted, so could see a couple of slips, a couple of touches as well during the race, especially as he comes down to Parabolica. He comes round a little bit slow, maybe could use a bit more of the track limits available to him. Crosses the line, he posts 21.7, goes 4 seconds quicker. He goes past Mike, between Mike and Jake, into P5 currently. Zed Jelly has just begun his quick lap down to the first chicane. In his Mercedes, he's partnered with Hedgehog this evening, the two friends that they are. Apparently, someone has just posted a comment, so let's read it. Oh, hello, don't want to hear myself. Hey, it's Young Lights. Hey, Mr. Young Lights, how are you doing? Anyway, Zeg Jelly to a second chicane. Looking okay so far. I didn't quite see the first sector time, but he only needs to improve by just over half a second, and he will take provisional pole. We'll see how that goes as he progresses. Second part of Lesmo looks okay. Maybe he could use a little bit more trap, but he's got to be careful. He's not used to strict corner cutting, is our Jelly. DRS point there, under the bridge, second sector time. He is a little bit down on his time at the moment, not improving as we speak, but let's see how he does in the third sector. Baboon Saloon will get out of his way to avoid as little slipstream as possible. And here he is down to Parabolica. Is a Jelly, that purple and pink helmet. I don't know why he's done that. And he's going to cross the line, 21.6 to beat. He goes 21.5, but doesn't improve on the position. So Jelly has got a little bit of work to do with 6.5 minutes of quali left. FedEx Blue, who said he might not make it due to a slight problem with his controller, is definitely here. He hasn't put a time in, but he is on his lap. He's through the first part of Lesmo pretty smoothly. We know how quick FedEx Blue can be. Short shifting through the gears, second part of Lesmo looks clean and smooth for now. And he's got lots of track ahead of him. He's also got a McLaren behind him who's gone out on a set of mediums. We are expecting a one-stop strategy this evening, a soft to medium strategy. If there's an early safety car, I don't know. But the drivers will be in charge of their own destinies as FedEx Blue comes down to turn number 11, the final corner. And let's see what lap FedEx Blue can put in. I don't know where he's going to go, but the fastest time is a 21 dead. He crosses the line, he goes 21.399 and goes P2. The two Renaults, first and second at the moment. That's interesting. Young Lights in his racing point. He's on a set of mediums, runs through wide at turn number 10. So is he on softs or mediums? We may have got a slight tyre glitch as he comes round Parabolica, and let's see what time Young Lights has put in. I'm sure going off the track has slowed him down a little bit, but he's going to cross the line with no battery left, and he puts in a 1 minute 20.951 and goes P1, either on a medium or softs. I'm not too sure. I'm getting different answers from the game at the moment as Mike Whitty is coming through Lesmo now, and we'll see when he goes under the bridge. The second bridge, that is, what times Mike Whitty is looking at. He's going 22.5 at the moment. I'm sure he can improve on that. He needs to improve by a second to go into the top 5. He's half a second up in second sector, which is good to see. Coming through Ascari, looks okay through turn 10, catches the curve nicely, goes out wide well. and Mike Whitty's got one more corner to go to try and improve on his time. 4 minutes and 20 seconds of qualifying left to go here in Monza. Catboy Kai Kieran goes fastest, 1 minute 20.4. We're seeing the 20s come in. Mike Whitty crosses the line, he goes 22.6, actually goes down on his time, so he must have made a mistake somewhere. First sector or last, it definitely wasn't the second. And we shall see. We got Hedgehog here, and the other Mercedes to Jelly's teammate, who he's the only driver who hasn't put a lap in at the moment. Chimp's lap will need to be improved as well. That's quite behind the other guys at the moment. I'm sure Hedgehog is just recharging his battery and making sure he has a good amount of space for him to conduct his lap. So he's either coming into the pits or doing another lap. He will have time to come into the pits and change the tyres. He's heading to the right. He's not. He's actually going to start his lap. So this might be the only opportunity he gets. He posted 25.8, but he knows that's slow, of course. And let's go on board with Hedgehog for a lap of Italy. So down to the first chicane. Does well on the first curve. Looks good on the second. Gets out well. Curva Grande is next for the Mercedes driver, as he looks to, I'm sure, improve on his time. 2 seconds off. We'll put in top 3. He's 1.6 already up on his time, which is good. Through the second chicane, maybe a little bit on the slow end, but you've got to be careful with these strict corner contingency rules. He comes through Lesmo, looks fine. Second part looks okay. Short shift for gears as well to try and get away. It's not looking like a bad lap at the moment. Quite stable, quite secure. He's got probably the trickiest part of the lap left here. The left, right, left. Quite slow on the braking. It might have cost him a little bit of time, but he is out. And down to turn 11 he goes, as you can see on your screen. Probably reached about 205, 210 miles an hour before he brakes for the long parabolic. Try and use as much track as he possibly can. He gets on the power early. He's run out of battery already. He's going to cross the line. He goes 23 dead, and that actually keeps him at P10 at the moment. I don't think Chimp. Okay, so Chimp's coming out now, and he will have enough time. Is that Chimp or a Ferrari? Young Potato has retired from the session. He's happy with his time. Chimp and Mike are on the same team tonight, and they should have enough time to get round to the to do one more lap. That Racing Point is just going out, has left it very, very late, but we will find out very soon if that's enough time. GP1 is going ahead. It is going as planned, as normal. That will be uploaded, but after the race, so it's not being done live. Is the first division, but it will be put up after. That is for absolute sure. But I thought it'd be interesting to see GP2. Their first race of the season. This is where it matters. This is where your points go on the board. And yeah, first race of 10. So we've got 10 weeks, 10 races. And oh, so Chimp stayed in the pit, so Mike came out. That makes sense. Yeah, so we have 10 races, and then the last week will be focused on GP1, as that'll be their last race of the season. Then we'll come back together. We'll also have some more drivers next week. We're trying to recruit some clean drivers, not necessarily the quickest, but you know, the cleanest, for people who are here to improve and not destroy everyone's evenings. We know what happened in Belgium, and we made changes, and hopefully that won't happen again. So we got the Racing Point of I think it was Jimmy Allen, who cancels that lap, and there we go. So Jimmy Allen has retired, and he's going to be in the P5 spot. Kieran was just behind him. He was trying to get a tow. He's up by 0.02 of a second, so very, very minor. And will he improve on his time? No idea. Young Lights has gone out on a soft compound or medium. He's getting a couple of tiny bugs from him. Qualifying is over. The time is over, so all the drivers that pass the line, of course, can finish their time off. And so Hedgehog and Chimp have finished their time, so they're starting P10 and P11. Jelly has finished his time, he's starting P6. Alfie Trot has finished his time, he's starting P2. Kieran and Young Lights are probably the ones that are fighting, but a left FedEx Blue can't put a time in, so he's going to start P4 at the moment. Catboy Kai, i.e. Kieran, is coming around Parabolica to set his fastest time. Can he improve on what is already provisional pole? He absolutely can, with a fantastic time of a 1 minute 19.7. Young Lights is the only person out on the track who can possibly beat that time. He's got one more corner to go, and that will finalise the standings for the first race of this season. Young Lights comes across the line and he sets a 1 minute 19.1, and he takes pole position, the first pole position for Monza in GP2. So that was a couple of interesting times coming in at the end. The drivers saving their fast laps to the end. Thank you for tuning in. If you are, I'll just take a quick screenshot of those standings. Oh, Young Potato has got a 5-place grid panel, so his penalty. So he's going to be starting last. And that means Hedgehog will be P9, Chip will be P10, etc. So Young Lights and Catboy Karma front row, Alfie Trot, FedEx Blue behind, Jimmy Allen and Jelly 5th and 6th, Baboon Saloon, Mike 4th row, Hedgehog and Chimp 5th row, and Young Potato will start the 6th row. And I'm going to grab a quick drink, BRB. Right. The Commentator is back. And we have a formation lap ahead of us before the Italian Grand Prix. 27 laps of a track that takes about 85%, that is taken at about 85% full power. Every single driver is on the soft compound tyre. That also means that it probably is a one-stop strategy. And will the safety car play a part in this race? We will find out, I'm sure. And we will see. First race of the season. It's the first chance for the drivers to get points. It helps, of course, for them actually being here. If everyone wants to finish, one person wouldn't get that a point. But also the fastest lap will be an extra point. The person who finished first in qualifying will also get a point. So Young Lights has already got the first point of the season. That is for sure. That is absolutely definite. I'm going to turn the stream off for a little bit. And yeah, we have no idea what the actual what's going to happen. Turn 1 is obviously you've got to be careful. But not only that, I think 11 drivers has an effect as well. 20 drivers sometimes is a little bit chaotic. 11 drivers is a bit more concentrated, congregated, does a little bit better. The drivers can make better decisions. As Young Lights forms the good at warms his car as much as he possibly can to get us ready for the Italian Grand Prix. And before they get ready, I'm going to take another quick drink. So we're about to get going. It's not going to take the cars very long at all to get those cars back on the grid. We'll get in line with the last person and make sure he's ready. All the cars are get informed. And there we go. So Young Potato on the last row by himself. Here we go then. So ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for the restart of GP2? It's race number 1, the quickest track on the calendar. It's the Italian Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go. Kieran gets away okay. So does Young Lights as well. He's going to be leading. He covers the inside into turn 1. FedEx Blue and Alfie Trot Moreno. There's a racing point of Jimmy Allen going very, very wide. He's Jelly into P5. He tries to... a bit of contact with Alfie Trot and then Baboon Saloon, bit of contact as well into the first chicane, but we get out unscathed. Mike Whitty has made a place on Jimmy Allen. He's dropped a few places. The Racing Point driver will be shaken a little bit. Hedgehog's doing well as well, just out of P9. Chimp's back into P11 after the first chicane. Into down to Lesmo we go. Young Lights leads, Catboy Kai second. The 2 Reynolds third by 4, Baboon Saloon is 5th, Jelly is 6th, and Mike Whitty in his Ferrari just behind us. Baboon Saloon takes it too wide at the first part of Lesmo. He's off the track and he's going to have to pit early on with a double red wing. He doesn't have a wing, in fact, and that means Chimp is going to go into P10, Jelly P5, Mike P6, Jimmy P7, and the front 4 haven't changed as Young Lights goes very wide out of turn 10. That allows Catboy Kai to get a better exit out of Ascari. The yellow flag still exists, but it should go away. Yeah, it has. And that was an interesting lap 1 of Monza, and we've got another 26 laps to go. And yeah, Baboon Saloon's going to have to pit early. It'll be interesting to see what he puts on. He could go hard till the end, but that's going to slow him down a lot. Catboy Kai thinks about making a move into turn 1. He doesn't do so. FedEx Blue and Alfie Trot, 3rd and 4th, led by Jelly, led by Mike, led by Hedgehog, led by Chimp. Jimmy Allen has had to pit early for a damaged wing, but it looked like that wing is okay. But I'm not too sure. Baboon Saloon comes into the pit lane. He gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in there, and he's going to have to do that in the pits, as you can see on your screen. They're also going to have to fit a new wing. He's gone with mediums. Whether he can take that to the end, I have no idea. Young Potato is dropped to P10 as well. I think he's had to pit. Jimmy Allen, Young Potato, Baboon Saloon, 3 drivers you wouldn't expect are at the back. Young Potato cuts the first chicane and gets a 3-second penalty for it, and that is how strict the collar cutting is. Chimp is 8th, Hedgehog is P7, Mike P6, Jelly P5, the 2 Reynolds 4th and 3rd. Catboy Kai second as he's round, going down to Parabolica. FedEx Blue's going to overtake him. Alpha Trot's going to overtake him. Jelly's going to overtake him. Mike Whitty's not close enough, but Kieran had an accident out of Ascari. He's got damage to his front right wing as well. So Mike's going to get that position as Catboy Kai is going to go into the pits. That's going to cost him some time. Let's see if he speeds into the pits as well. He doesn't. He slows down. And wow, Carling's at the front of these drivers making mistakes. I don't know if it was contact or driver error, but seems to be a few mistakes from the front runners at the moment, and that allows people to move up one position as well as Potato goes past Catboy Kai in the pits as well. He's also got what was that, a front wing change? Yeah, so I don't think Young Potato will cross the line in time. Catboy Kai is just coming out of the pits now, so he's going to come out in P8. The bottom 4 now have pitted. It's going to be pretty close actually. You can just see Young Potato coming past the light sequence part now, and there you go. So Young Lights has opened a 6.5 second lead at the front of the grid. FedEx Blue is at 6.6 seconds behind Alfie Trot's, close behind his teammate. Jelly is pouncing on Alfie Trot. He's P4, Mike's P5, and the 2 Kezes in the Merc and the Ferrari are 6th and 7th. Of course, you have Kieran, Potato, Jimmy, and Baboon Saloon. The bottom 4 at the moment, as they have all pitted. Catboy Kai has put on a set of hogs to take him to the end. We've only had this is yeah, so we've just done 3 laps now. Now we've got 24 to go of what has been a weird start, shall we say. Hedgehog is catching up on Mike Whitty as well. Mike is falling a little bit behind Jelly at the moment, 4.2 seconds behind, and obviously Hedgehog will have the DRS down to the first chicane. He won't be able to make a move here. but he definitely can consider it. He's got to also consider charging his battery as well, as he nearly outbrakes himself into a first chicane, but does pretty well. Chimp is also not too far behind, 5 seconds from Hedgehog. He's got a 21-second gap from Kieran, who pitted behind him. So these guys have got to judge when they pit. It's 50%, so I don't know, maybe 8, maybe like 10, maybe 9. It's probably the right swap over point. You can see the Mercedes driver's tyres here, just a little bit flat, a little bit grey. Been worn a little bit, that's for sure. And Mike's got to gel a little bit. It took half a second in 3 corners. FedEx Blue has left the session. Oh dear, that means he's going to be travelling very, very slow here, and that invites Alfie Trott to take second place. Jelly is also going to go and get a double overtake, I think. Down to Parabolica, he overtook FedEx Blue, who was a bot. He also overtook Alfie Trott, who had to slow down, maybe because he didn't know if the car was ghosted. But Alfie Trott will have DRS down to the first chicane. And here we go then. Let's see what's going to happen here. They're both about on the same batteries. Joey's going to try and cover the inside line, I'd like to think. Alfie Trott's going to try on the outside line. FedEx Blue has rejoined the session in his car. And down to the first chicane. And Jelly with that double overtake. Ooh, a little bit tight on the traction coming out of turn 2, but he does well around the curve of Grande Visugo, and Jelly's now into P2, and FedEx Blue has joined the session, but he's got a Ferrari right up his rocker, and will Mike be able to make a move into the second chicane? He is ghosted, so he can go through him. And there we go, so the Ferrari of Mike is into P4. FedEx Blue has left the session, he's rejoined the session, and I don't think he's able to rejoin the car. Ah, there we go. Right, so he's back in his car, and FedEx Blue will have to try and overtake Mike again, but that connection is horrendous from FedEx Blue, and that is probably why he left. That's closed the gap for Hedgehog on the rest of them. Chimp has also been invited a little bit, however, he is 6 seconds behind, 18 seconds behind Catboy Kai, who pitted earlier, and Young Lights has opened up a very nicely at the front. Jelly's 12.4 seconds behind. Can that be closed? We have no idea, but we will find out very soon. Alfie Trott's in third, and he's looking at making a move on the Mercedes of Jelly, and if he's gonna have DRS, he might have the inside line. Joey's got the room to try and move to the inside. Alfie Trott is going to move to the right to try and make a move down to the first chicane. He moves over to the right a little bit, and what happened to Jelly there? Young Potato gets a 3-second penalty, and Jelly gets a 10-second penalty for corner cut. I'm not quite sure what happened between those two. Didn't quite get the best view of it, unfortunately, but that 10-second penalty is going to be absolutely huge for the rest of this race regarding what happened. I'm not sure if you can do 10 seconds in the pits either, to be honest. I'm not too sure, but that will have to be reviewed as Babu Saloon retires from the race outside of Scary, and there's a virtual safety car as Young Lights is about to pass the Red Bull driver. You're going to see it on your screen now, and there you go. So he's lost the traction on the left hand side of the end of the Ascari section, and we have 10 drivers left now. And there we go, let's have a look at the leader gap there. So Young Lights ahead by 12 seconds, Jelly, Alfie Trott, FedEx Blue, Mike Hedgehog and Chimp. Jelly has a 10-second penalty for what happened at the first chicane. He lost control, and that is a big penalty, a big penalty. And hopefully he can get away and, you know, try and do his best on that. Probably could have pitted on the virtual safety car, to be fair, but decides not to do so, and we're going to get the green flag very shortly to continue. There we go, so we have the green light to carry on racing. Jelly is definitely capable of trying to get that 10-second gap sorted out, 10-second penalty sorted out. He has free track ahead of him as well. He's also cut the gap on Young Lights a little bit. See how far he can get away as Alfie Trott goes a little bit wide through the first part of Lesmo. Sorry, out of the chicane, my bad. and struggling a little bit with the traction is the Renault driver. FedEx Blue is back in his car. He struggled for the same part as his teammate did in the Renault. Mike Whitty 5th, Hedgehog 6th, Chimp 7th, Catboy Kai is 8th, Young Potato is 9th, and Jimmy Allen is 10th. Baboon Saloon is not getting any points from this session. Fastest lap so far is going to Young Lights as it stands. No one taking a pit stop yet. Young Potato gets a 3-second penalty for corner cutting. That invites Jimmy Allen in as Young Potato goes off at Lesmo, and he's now P10. Is Young Potato. FedEx Blue has just been given a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So that's going to help Jelly out a little bit. That's for definite. And see what happens to him a little bit later on, as FedEx Blue is going to come out the pits. I think Catboy Kai might just about go past it. Oh, maybe not. FedEx Blue is going to be a little bit closer to turn 1. Oh, it's actually going to be pretty tight, but Kieran's just going to remain behind FedEx Blue. Is Catboy Kai, and he's going to have to make that overtake, but them two are fiercely competitive at the front. I think Horse, Chimp, Hedgehog and Mike will probably be making their pits soon. The Ferraris can probably double stack. Alfie Trot is making his way down to a sky. Joey's opened up a 5.5 second gap already, so Joey's definitely got some decent pace at the Italian Grand Prix this evening. Young Lights is doing really well. He's opened up a 14-second gap, but he got away cleanly at the beginning, and that's it. Young Potato gets a 5-second penalty for exceeding track limits. He's also got off again at the second chicane round Curva Grande. And that Rebel driver is struggling a little bit, as you can see the gravel on the screen, and struggling for traction. Alfie Trot gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, but invites Jelly a little bit as well. Mike and Hedgehog move into P3 and 4, of course. Obviously Alfie Trot's pitted, as that's the main reason why Young Lights is leading at the front very, very well at the moment. Nice and consistently, and I'm sure he's doing pretty well in terms of quality pace, of course, and race pace too. And so Catboy Kai is just Alfie Trot has just come out of the pits just behind FedEx Blue and Catboy Kai. The more he gets held up here, the more that invites Jelly a little bit as well. When he pits, Jimmy Allen is currently P9, which is definitely not where he wanted to be. But let's see what he can do regarding that. The problem is everyone else in front of him is already pitted. So not the night Jimmy Allen wanted. Young Potato has got loads of penalties at the moment. Not the night for him either. Young Lights now comes into the pits, and he brakes nice and early to ensure he doesn't speed into the pit lane. I think that might bring Jelly into the pits as well. So it's 9 laps on the softs, 18 on the mediums, and Jelly is going to pit. Hopefully he doesn't speed past the pit lane, and he judges it about perfectly. We'll watch this pit stop. Catboy Kai gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings as well. As for Mercedes pit crew, I don't think they were ready for that for some reason. Oh, it was a glitch, never mind. The Ferrari of Mike comes in. Chimp might come in as well for a double stack, which he does. So let's watch the 2 pit stops. You can see Chimp coming in on the background. He's just coming in now as he gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And every pit assist is quite new to the Ferrari driver, as he has to wait a little bit for the pit crew to sort themselves out. I'm hoping it's a glitch. Oh, it is a glitch. Okay, that's good. Good to see. So Hedgehog's P2 at the moment, but he's going to have to pit. That's going to drop into about, I'd say, P6, I think. But we will find out when he pits at the end of this lap. I'm pretty sure everyone else has done their pit stops now. We had a couple pit stops early on. Young Potato picks up another penalty. Yeah. So here we go then, Hedgehog round Parabolic, lap number 10, he's on one more lap than anyone else on the softs, so he's going to take his pit stop. Now hopefully the pit stop starts, he's going to brake nice and always so he doesn't speed in the pit lane. And let's see this pit stop there. There's the podium thing the drivers will stand on later on, whoever get there. The Mercedes crew are decent, the pit goes well, it's a scheduled pit stop and he's out on the medium compound. Is Mike going to overtake Hedgehog? He's coming down, Hedgehog coming down the pit lane now, and Mike will overtake Hedgehog. So Mike is into P6 and Jimmy Allen's going to overtake Hedgehog as well, and Jimmy Allen goes into P7 down to the first chicane, and Hedgehog comes out P8 as well, with Young Potato 32.5 seconds behind, and Flush's Chimp trying to make some ground up as well. Catboy Kai gets past FedEx Blue because FedEx Blue has a bot driving for him, so that will invite Mike. Jelly's doing well at the front, however he does have a 10-second penalty, which means at the moment he would actually finish P5. At the moment Jimmy Allen gets a 3-second penalty as well, so that might invite Hedgehog in a little bit as well. We've had, we're on the 11th lap, we've got 17 to go after we cross, sorry 16 to go after we cross. And Young likes to set the fastest lap on a set of mediums, 22.7. But we have only lost one driver, and everything on overall seems to be pretty okay. Right, I just had a moment to just have a drink and get some notes together, and there is a safety car in Italy, and I don't know what it was for, but I believe it was for Young Potato, so that's for 2 Red Bull drivers out of this race, and you know, that is a problem. It's a problem for Jelly, because he got a 10-second penalty. It's a massive problem, actually. It's a huge problem. It's also going to stack the grid up as well. It's going to stack everyone up, and a lot of people, a few people, have penalties as well. Look at those. So 3 seconds from Baboon, Potato, but they're out, of course. What else? Catboy Kai's got 3 seconds. Jimmy Allen's got 3 seconds. Okay, so they're the only ones. So Catboy Kai and Jimmy have 3-second time penalties, maybe 6 potentially. But this is going to tighten the grid back together. Yeah, bad for Jelly actually, but good for everyone else, I guess. And the safety car will do 13 and 14, I'm guessing. It's going to take a little bit of time. Jimmy Allen is passing the finish line now, and he's got to get all the way to Lesma, and by that time probably the finish line again, so about a lap behind. So we'll watch everyone form up to the safety car. And there we go. This is a good time for me, to relax, let the drivers form up. So we've got 4th. We're waiting for Mike to form up, and the rest will just go in order until they're formed up. The safety car will definitely do one more lap, that's for sure. And then it will come in, and we'll start on 15 with 13 laps of Monza to go. Everyone will be able to save their fuel, save their battery. We should have some fast-paced racing after. Jelly is in big trouble with that 10-second penalty. It doesn't seem to be his fault either. He can obviously review it, clip it and review it, and we'll take a look at it, of course. Of course we saw the corner cut, but it's more about why. We saw the corner cut, but it's not about why that happened. He was spinning out of control. Was that for a reason? We will find out. So Catboy Kai has caught up. Chimp will be catching up, and Jimmy Allen very soon. As a couple of people have decided to pit again. So everyone's on pretty much brand new mediums to take them to the end of the race. And Chimp's got a driver behind him and in front who have both got penalties as well. So they're going to catch up. The safety car will come in at the end of 14 and we'll get going again. Chimp has caught up, and Jimmy Allen has also caught up. So we have, we started with 11 packed up on the start line after a safety car. We've got 9 all packed together, and the safety car's lights have gone off, and it is in. We're about halfway through this Grand Prix, and when Young Lights, Alfie Trot has got a collision with Jelly, who's got a 5-second penalty as well. FedEx Blue wants to get past his teammate and get on with it. That will help. Jelly won't help Alfie Trot at all, yeah, we'll see what happens there. And there we go. So we will see what is going to happen. Chimp just falling behind a tiny bit there, but hopefully he'll catch up a little bit, and we'll get racing. So Young Lights comes through Parabolica, steadies himself with the power control, and for the second time tonight we restart the Italian Grand Prix as Alpha Trot and FedEx Blue kind of go wheel to wheel, but I saw something mistake. Mike Whitty gets a fantastic exit, but FedEx Blue is lagging all over the place. Down to the first chicane, Mike Whitty's going to break his lazy car. No, he just not bottles it, but breaks a little bit earlier than FedEx Blue. And Mike says P5. Catboy Kai is into P6. Hedgehog P7. Jimmy Allen P8. And Chimp is P9. Young Lights and Jelly lead at the front. Alfie Trot and his teammate very close behind. Jelly's got a 10-second penalty, so he's got work to do. Catboy Kai is P5 as well. We've got to be careful about our penalty, because if it is reviewed and we take some time off it, where's it going to lead him? As Catboy Kai gets a good exit, but is dragged off to the side by FedEx Blue. We just couldn't quite catch that in time, but Mike Whitty gets a good exit on the McLaren as well. They're going to be wheel to wheel down to the Ascari section. There's no DLS, of course, and Catboy Kai just sneaks in front in his McLaren and gets a 3-second penalty for cutting that wing as well as he goes wide onto the curb, and he's got 6 seconds of penalties. He's going to make his move on FedEx Blue down to Parabolica. These two almost wheel to wheel. The McLaren is just about ahead, and he's going to go into Parabolica, the first out of those two drivers, as FedEx Blue goes really wide, struggles for traction. Mike Whitty in his Ferrari might get a better exit. He's not got all the battery he wants, and FedEx Blue just about maintains a good enough speed to lead them down to the first chicane, and he stays P6, and Hedgehog tucks in behind P7. Jimmy Allen and Chimp behind them. Jelly's trying to open up that gap. If he can open a 10-second gap up to Alfie Trot, there you go. He's done everything he needs to do. I doubt there'll be a safety car again, to be honest, and Young Lights has already opened up a pretty good lead at the front of the pack, that is for sure. And there we go. So Mike Whitty, Hedgehog are swapping places in the second part of the chicane. I didn't see the interval gap, but we're with it now, almost wheel to wheel through the first, what was that, snorkel, through the first part of Lesmo. Hedgehog might make a move into the second part of Lesmo, but almost wheel to wheel, almost touching. Mike Whitty gets a decent exit, no DLS of course until next lap, and these cars are so close for fighting for the minorest of points, but it still matters. There's a yellow flag in the car head, and there's a safety car as Young Lights, the leader, retires from the session. The race leader has gone off at the Ascari section. And that also means Hedgehog was, I think, just about ahead of Mike before the safety car. And for that reason, the Jelly would be favourite without the 10-second penalty, of course. But the race leader is out of the Italian Grand Prix. And that opens it up to everyone. We do have a second safety car, as we just said there wouldn't be one. But everyone is here, so it might only be out for one lap. But wow, we're down to 8 drivers, and you can see Young Lights, Young Potato and Baboon Saloon, the drivers that are out of this race. And wow, how things can change. Wow, wow, wow. There we go, so it gives us another time to have a breather. If the safety car comes in this lap, which it should, we will have 10 laps to go of the Italian Grand Prix. And there we go. Interesting stuff, interesting stuff. I was just getting some inside sources from Young Lights. Just crashed on a Scouty, I guess, and you did get the 1.4 the quali as well. Hopefully we can see him next week. He led the race quite clearly. He was 14 seconds ahead before the first safety car. He opened up a 4-second gap on the second safety car, and he just lost it at a Scouty, and it happens. He couldn't really have done much more else, to be honest. His racing was fine. He just made one mistake, and that's it. The safety car is doing another lap, which allows Jimmy Allen to pit for some softs. He's also got a penalty, which he's going to do in the pits as well, which will allow him to catch up. That's a pretty good idea from Jimmy Allen. But like I said, he has got penalties and he has got work to do. Yeah, so the safety car will come in on lap 18, which means we will have 9 laps to go when we cross the line. Oh no, that's a lie. 8 laps. 8 laps. And we will see. So the safety car is in. We're back. Just messaging a few people. We are back, and it is time to get on board with Jelly, whose job now is to gain a 10-second lead with 9 laps to go to win this Grand Prix. He sets off whenever he's ready, and Alfie Trot and Catboy Kai are literally next to each other. Catboy Kai looked to have got a decent exit initially, but didn't quite do so. But after the start finish line, he gets a pretty good line speed from Alfie Trot, and he goes into P2. And he might also make a move on Jelly into P1. He gets really aggressive, which wasn't the best idea. And he's also got a great exit speed round to Curva Grande as well, but he just can't quite get past the Mercedes driver. And he doesn't want to make any silly mistakes either. And he might make a force down to turn the chicane, but he does. He goes wide, and that's gonna should have probably given him a penalty, but he's already got a penalty, that's for sure. And he's going to try and get ahead of Jelly, which is not going to work, because he's also got a penalty in front as well. We'll check the penalties at the end, and of course we can review that footage after the race, that's for sure. So Cat by Kai leads, Jelly second, Alfie Trot's third, Hedgehog is fourth, Jimmy Allen is fifth, Mike Whitty is sixth, FedEx Blue in his bot car is seventh, Chimp will probably be overtaking that car very, very soon. Will remain on board with the Ferrari driver for the foreseeable future as he gets past FedEx Blue and will hopefully move himself into the P7 position very, very soon as he rounds Parabolica. There might be an overtake on the start finish straight as Jelly actually got the initial overtake on Catboy Kai. Down to the first chicane. Can Jelly brake late enough to keep that inside line to turn number 1 and 2? Yes, he does. He absolutely 50-50s it with Catboy Kai. He tries to use as much of the curve as possible. Jelly gets that well, and round the curve Grande, he will lead the pack. But don't forget, he's got a 10-second penalty. Technically, he's last, but of course that will be reviewed after the race as Catboy Kai again thinks about the late dive into the second chicane, doesn't do so, actually gets a pretty poor exit. Joey goes onto a gravel a little bit. Chimp will be close to getting that overtake on the bot of FedEx Blue at the moment, who's unfortunately not in his car, struggled with connection problems this evening. And I'm sure Chimp will be able to get that move done very, very soon as Joey and Catboy Kai get very close again. But I think Jelly will have it just about. And just want to make sure we're capturing everything as Jelly is a little bit slow out of the sky. And that's going to invite the McLaren of Catboy Kai in as well. And we'll see what happens here. He looks like he was going to make a move into Parabolica, but he doesn't do so. And Jelly tries to defend as best as he possibly can as Alfie Trot goes wide, and Jimmy Allen from the back is now up to P3. He's been flying through the positions and we didn't even notice. DRS is back on as these two are wheel to wheel down to the first chicane. Joey's going to have the inside line again. Who's going to break for latest? Who's going to be the most daring as Catboy Kai goes wide again? Has to come back on the track, and he now concedes to P2 again as Jimmy Allen in the racing point improves on that as well. Chimp's going to make a move into the first chicane, but he's not going to get past FedEx Blue just yet, but hopefully he will in the next 7 laps as Jelly, Catboy Kai and Jimmy Allen are all fighting out here. The two cars, all these 3 cars have penalties, by the way. Catboy Kai and Jimmy have 3 each, and Jelly has 10. Of course, that will be checked after the race. But they're all fighting for their race times here. That's absolutely for sure. Alfie Trotz drops a little bit behind. Hedgehog's not far from him. Mike and Chip not far from him. Both Ferrari 6th and 7th. He's got past the bottom of FedEx Blue at the moment. Jelly loses his place to Catboy Kai. He's going to try and use the curve of 9 as best he can out of 10 as well. Does he get a better exit? No, he doesn't. But neither does Jimmy Allen. And these 3 are literally neck and neck. Taking away the penalties, of course. There we go. So Jimmy Allen has got the soft tyres. I'm guessing he's also got the fastest lap. No, he doesn't, but he probably has the next fastest lap. Catboy Kai actually. But Jelly has DRS on the car in front. DRS, sorry. Jimmy Allen also has DRS. So he won't be catching up too much as Joey nearly outbrakes himself into turn 1. We're all getting quite close. These 3 at the front. Look at that. Look at Alfie's POV, how close those 3 drivers are. I bet Alfie's hoping we all spin out. Mike and Chip in the Ferrari's 5th and 6th. Hedgehog's 5th. He's going to try and catch Alfie Trot if he possibly can. As Jimmy goes wide at the turn 4, Jelly gets a pretty good exit, can't quite get past the McLaren as Alfie Trot gets a 3-second time penalty. That brings Hedgehog and Mike in for potentially P4 and 5, depending on how far Alfie Trot can get ahead. And look at this, look at these 3. So Jimmy Allen's on 4 laps soft tyres. Jelly's on 12 lap mediums and Kieran's on 10 lap mediums too. So I was just wondering if Jimmy Allen's waiting to make his move, and Jelly gets a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting, and he's got 13 seconds of penalties now. They both, one goes to the right, one goes to the left, down to Parabolica. McLaren tries to cover his move as Jelly tries to break late for the Parabolica. More the inside line, doesn't quite go to plan, and he goes out into P2 now, and McLaren stays P1. Jimmy's also coming down. Jimmy's got a pretty good line speed there. Jelly's going to move to the right hand side to make the move on McLaren. Jimmy's going to go for a single overtake on the McLaren down to the chicane, decides to back off, and Jelly retakes the provisional lead. Not net, but Alfie Trott gets another penalty, and that literally invites Hedgehog and Mike. He's got 6 seconds of penalties now. Is Alfie Trott. It literally invites H and Mike to get that position. Jimmy Allen's also got a penalty too, which could invite H and Mike as well, depending on how close they are at the end of the race. We've got 5 laps to go. We will 4 laps to go when we cross. Sorry, we will find out what happens here. Very, very interesting stuff here, and action-packed stuff at the front as well, which is what we like to see. Of course. So then, Jelly is about to lead us onto lap 24. Before that, we might have Jimmy Allen make a late braking move into Parabolica. He decides not to again, just to tuck in to secure those positions. Look how close the front 4 are. Well, front 3 initially, and then we got 4, 5th and 6th that are not too far behind as well. Down to turn 1 again. Will there be another switch of the lead? But McLaren's really, really quick, goes for the right hand side. Jelly gives him just about enough room, but it's really, really late. Jelly as well comes in. I think there was a tap of the rear. Catboy Kai gets a 3-second time penalty for cutting turn 1. He's done that a couple of times. He's a bit lucky to not have more than that. I don't think he has any damage. I'll just double check on the screen. No, we've all got all the damage is good. I think excuse me, I think Jimmy Allen's just waiting for his right opportunity, to be honest, as Jerry gets an awesome exit. We're going to be wheel to wheel through Lesmo, and Catboy Kai just about sneaks through. A little bit of contact from both of them. Jimmy gets himself in on the action as well, tries to break late into Lesmo, and he tries to take the line, which is not going to work. And that was, you saw it from a mile away. Mike's going to go through as well, and he tried to take the inside of Lesmo, which you are never going to do if someone's on the racing line. And he was being patient and patient and patient, and then at the wrong moment that patience is gone, and he is now down into P6 with a penalty as well. So there we go. Unlucky on Jimmy Allen's part, probably should have waited a little bit more. He was being so patient, and that patience was just, he just left. Catboy Kyle leads us on to lap 25 of 27. We have 3 laps, including this one to go, and we will see what happens there. These guys have been racing at the front, and the problem is we'll get some submissions of penalties. It's all about race time here. Every second counts. From now until the end of the race, and that's pretty much, yeah, it's absolutely clear, to be honest. Crucial how much it's going to matter when we come to do the incidents and the final race results, of course. Hedgehog's 3 seconds behind Alfie Trott. He's still in within reach of getting a podium spot here. If he just keeps up for the last 3 laps. Mike Whitty in his Ferrari is doing well at the moment. Of course, overtaking Jimmy from his accident on this part of Lesmo here. So he's just right on the inside. It's just never going to work. He's lucky not to span the Mercedes driver as well. Flushy's Chim's just going around Lesmo too. And FedEx Blue isn't in his car. So if everyone finishes, we're getting at least 6 points, which is good to see. And fastest lap so far is was going to Young Lights, but now it's going to 24.4. It's going to Catboy Kai. Is the fastest lap at the moment, and we've got 2 laps to go of the Italian Grand Prix. Been a very interesting race with 11 drivers. We've had 9 for. Oh, Mike Whitty gets a 5-second penalty. for exceeding track limits into turn 1. Is that going to invite Jimmy in? It might do. How much is Jimmy behind? 5. Oh, Mike has got to step on the gas here because he's got a racing point behind him who will want that position back, but he has used his softs quite a bit. So we'll see if that's possible. Chimp is just going to try and see out this race. Jelly at the moment is probably finishing P4. Hedgehog with penalties and stuff might finish net P2. Obviously with incidents that may change, but on the standings page, that's for sure, he might not. And we will see what happens, to be honest. And Catboy Kai is going to lead us on to lap 27 any moment now. And we've done 26 laps of Monza, all had their talking points, and we're now on to the final lap of the Italian Grand Prix. And yeah, we're going to have some work to do behind the scenes on the admin side, but overall it's been a good, fun race for the drivers. That's what it's about. It's competitive, but it's also fun. Jelly's looking definitely for a P4 spot with that 10-second pen, of course. Like I said, that'll be reviewed, and Hedgehog might actually get a P2 here. Depending on Alfie, Trot and Jelly's penalties, and Catboy Kai, he could potentially win depending on how many he's got. I think Catboy Kai has 6, Hedgehog's 7.6 behind. I'm not too sure on definites, but we'll definitely see. That's for sure. Mike Whitty gets another 3-second penalty, and that's just inviting Jimmy as well, so Mike's drop is in places too. Mike's got 8 seconds of penalties. The Chimp was a little bit quicker, he might have overtaken him. Cat by Kai send us through a Sky section. I have no idea. I mean, there's not a definitive winner because we have penalties to look at, but for the first race it seems one of the Kieran's has won initially, and we will find out afterwards. So Catboy Kai rounds the final corner at Parabolica with penalties just about, we think, to win the Italian Grand Prix, the first race of the restart of GP2. And Jelly drops to 3rd, and Hedgehog with no penalties is actually 1st. Of course we have to review Jake's penalty, but if the review doesn't come in, Hedgehog has actually won the Italian Grand Prix because everyone else had penalties. Wow! What? Crazy stuff! Crazy scenes in Monza. Wow! Okay, yes, that's what we like to see. Of course, Jelly's 10-second penalty will be reviewed. I've said that about 15 times, but a net 1st for Hedgehog, and you can see him lifting that trophy. I'm sure he's watching that. And there's the 2 Mercedes drivers absolutely smashing it there. And of course we advise all drivers to submit clips that they penalties they think they don't deserve, or any collisions that they think affected their race. But wow, there you go. So let's take a screenshot of those standings. Thank you to all the drivers who turned up this evening, and look at all them penalties. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So we need a screenshot of that one with no penalties, and there we go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Tune in next week. We haven't decided on the circuit yet. I'm trying to decide on the best calendar for GP2, but you'll find out on the Twitter very soon. Fat Mills, thank you for watching. Naomi, hello, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.